Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Thursday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Jim Hardy, filling in for Randy today. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We appreciate you each and every day tuning us in Monday through Friday right here on the Auburn Blitz. You can find us on your, of course, Spectrum cable dial on WOTM or WAXC TV. You can find us on our Sports Blitz Facebook page. That's Sports with a Z. You can comment away on that thread, or you can find us on our YouTube page as well. Go and subscribe to that. We would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all that you do. Obviously, you make this show worthwhile. We enjoy interacting with you. Give us a call, 256-234-6221. Let us know what's on your mind. Obviously, we've been talking about what happened at Media Days last week. We'll kind of move on from that and start looking forward to the upcoming season. It's going to be Big Cat Weekend this weekend at Auburn. This is kind of the biggest deal in recruiting, at least for the football program. It's going to kind of change from here on out because of some rule changes. Pretty much the NCAA has said that the last week in July is going to be a dead period. Mm-hmm. And so basically July and August are going to be dead periods. So Big Cat Weekend will still exist, but it won't exist in the current format that it is right now. It'll just be moved, I guess.
And I think that works anyway for the NCAA because you got a lot of kids that need to be getting ready for their own high school season. They don't need to be traveling around trying to go to other schools. They need to get their school ready to go. Now, this question has been posed to me over the last couple of days, and I'm going to throw it to you because there's probably a lot of listeners out there that could ask the same question about Big Cat. Tell everybody what Big Cat is. Like they keep throwing the term out there. What happens at Big Cat?
Sure, well, I mean, that's a good question. I think it's a little bit different every year, but the whole point is to bring guys together to interact with one another. I mean, it started obviously with Gene Chizik, and to bring in some of the highest profile guys out there and let them, develop some kind of chemistry, some kind of relationship with each other. Obviously, a lot of these guys already know each other.
Right.
But it seems that has been where recruiting has headed, or that has kind of developed in recruiting where you see guys that want to play with each other. Mm-hmm. It seems like that's been, a big thing for, I don't know, the last probably 15, 20 years now. Mm-hmm. But that's the whole point, is to get the guys together. They do all kind of, I think they used to have I don't know, some kind of eating contest. Mm-hmm. They would do all kind of, maybe a scavenger hunt. I know something like that they do at Georgia with the scavenger hunt. But obviously great food, barbecue, whatever, it's to kind of develop some teamwork with them as well. So put them in that kind of environment, but just make sure that they have a good time.
Make sure they feel loved.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. We've got a running visitor list right now. We mentioned that yesterday a little bit. It changes. It's kind of a fluid situation, so we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But other than that, I mean, it's kind of the last weekend before practice begins, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's exciting time of year. I mean, you've talked about it. The talking season is gone.
Yeah.
To where you've talked it blue in the face of, like, could this happen? Could that happen? Now it's time to actually see if these teams that have been talking it all summer can actually back it up.
Yeah, we've pretty much talked it to death.
Yeah.
Now we still got a month to go before we actually get some some really positive things or really true things to talk about. But right now it's just about what might be. But and speaking of that, this, like I said, this is that time of year. We're coming off the heels of SEC Media Days. When you look at this Auburn team, I'm going to ask you, give me 5 nominees for offensive and defensive MVP.
Okay.
Not at the beginning of the year, but at the end of the year.
Okay.
When you have looked back, give me 5 people that you think have a possibility that you say, and this guy, if this guy has a great year, Auburn's going to have a great year.
Okay.
Who are your 5 MVPs for offense and defense? And we'll do defense later, but love to hear yours as well. So if you got a thought on this, who's your MVP or who are your possible nominees for MVP of the offense and defense? 256-234-6221.
All right, so we're picking 5 from offense.
Yep.
Well, I'm definitely going to go the quarterback route because I've had I don't know what I want to call it, a change of heart from last year that I really believe most people were too tough on Peyton. I think that he's shown a lot of things that he can be that good at times. He was put into a situation where he didn't get to go through spring last year.
Right.
So we're literally talking about, as we said, fall is going to start next Wednesday. Mm-hmm. They're going to have 15 practices. I don't think there's a lot of kids out there who could take 15 individual practices and go play in the SEC. That's tough. That's a lot to ask.
A new offense I've never seen before.
We've never seen before. You got a makeshift offensive line in there that is nowhere near what you got right now. You got a bunch of, we went out and grabbed you wide receivers that wasn't what he's got right now. I think everything in this world, as long as he stays healthy, everything in the world is pointing that Peyton, could be the guy.
That's kind of obviously, the quarterback is the most important really position in all of sports.
Right.
So, that's really the easy one, and I think everybody would agree that that's probably number one.
Right.
So Peyton Thorne,
now
if he has a great year, Auburn's going to have a great year, I believe.
Correct.
So I definitely would see him as the number one candidate for MVP. I hope.
Oh, yeah.
If he's not the MVP,
what's the problem?
Yeah, it could not be good.
Yeah, you drop into the second category there on offensive running backs. Really, that right there is going to be predicated on the person that we just said, because if we're throwing the ball well, that's going to open up some lanes for running that's going to give these guys some opportunities to put it on their shoulders. You don't want, as they say, an MVP is the most valuable player on that team. If that person was missing today, would that team fall apart? They need that person to be on the field to accomplish their goals. And if you're going to pick one of the running backs, either one of those guys right there is solid as they can be, of Austin and Hunter. I'm just going to say, because of his past, Hunter would be a second choice of MVP, because he's really, last year he battled through some things and came on, almost had 1,000 yards there at the end of the season the way he was. I think he's poised with a new offense to really jump out there. Jump over into wide receivers. I think that you could be looking at both KLS and Cam Coleman, both of those, because KLS has proven he can do it at another level. He's been at the big programs. Cam is the unknown. He's got all the frame in the world. Everybody's calling him a first-round draft pick if he stays healthy. Even Peyton himself has said this kid's doing things that I saw guys I threw to at Michigan State that went in the first couple rounds of the draft. He's already doing it now.
Right.
That's a big, big statement there for those to come along. So, quarterback, I got you a quarterback, a running back, 2 receivers. I'd be crazy if I didn't throw an offensive lineman, and especially, my favorite personally is Connor Lew. I just think he's set up, your field general, and most people don't know it, but the guy that touches the ball the most out of every game, they think it's the quarterback. It's not. Somebody's got to hike it to him.
Yeah.
Right? That guy right there, he's got to make the signals. He's got to point out who's across that line. If he sees their front change, he's got to tell his line how to shift, because if you screw up that line call, the rest of the play don't matter, As we always talk about winning the line of scrimmage, he's the general right there. He's the quarterback in my book, and that right there could possibly be your MVP overall.
I agree 100% with Peyton Thorne. I think Percy Lewis, transfer from Mississippi State, left tackle, obviously we always know well, everybody talks about how important that left tackle position is. If you're going to have an anchor of that offensive line, he needs to be really, really good protecting that blind side. He's a possible just to throw out somebody. I think it seems like Rivaldo Fairweather's flying under the radar right now. He was the go-to guy last year. He could be a go-to guy, a safety valve for Peyton Thorne. He could end up being – I mean, is it possible he leads Auburn in receptions for a second year? If he does, he could be in that MVP category for sure.
I just hope not, because that's a problem if your tight end's leading them in receptions.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like all those. I think those are good. I think Keandre Lambert-Smith is a good. I think it's more likely that he ends up being an MVP candidate than Cam Coleman.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would love to see Cam Coleman lead Auburn in receptions and have a, 1,000-yard, be the first receiver since 1999 to have a 1,000-yard season. I would love that. I think that would again, I think indicate that Auburn has won probably 8 or 9 games at least.
Right.
If he has that kind of year, because that would indicate that the offense in general has had a great year. I'll pose this question. This is from our buddy Ed Hines. For all of you out there, you think about this. Okay, how serious is it that there will not be, as of right now, a 2025 quarterback at Big Cat Weekend? Big deal, little deal, no deal.
Well, Ed, I'll add this part to it. There may be a little surprise that everybody don't know about that's coming over the weekend.
We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Let's get serious. Let's get Arctic Air serious. You want your car and truck to live longer, don't you? Well, it's about maintenance. Same thing with Arctic Air. You see the number at the bottom of the screen? Call them right now. Let me tell you something. You want to be comfortable? We all want to be comfortable.
Are you ready to save big on a new Chevrolet?
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet for the Chevy Summer Drive. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox, discounted up to $6,000 off. Or powerful full-size Chevy Silverados for up to $14,750 off. And fuel-efficient Chevy Malibus up to $5,750 off. Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Thank you so much for being with us today. Again, 256-234-6221. If you've got something on your mind you'd like to talk about, by all means, give us a call. Andy and Jim here with you for about 45 more minutes in today's show. I always like to remind you, Russell Do-It Center, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Central Alabama Community College, three of our great corporate partners here on the Auburn Blitz. We appreciate them. We could not do the show without them. Go and check them out today for all your building supply, home decor, tools with Russell Do-It Center, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job's too big, no job's too small. They can help you out. And Central Alabama Community College, 4 campuses, Alexander City, Prattville, Talladega, and Childersburg. All right, Jim, how big a deal is it that as of right now, no 2025 quarterback is scheduled to be at Big Cat Weekend? You said, not so fast.
Yeah, I'm hearing some words on the street that there will be somebody there, but they're not. They don't want to make the promise because they, in case the person does not show. But as for right now, there's somebody that's saying that they're not denying when they're asked if they will be there. They're not saying they won't be there. Yeah. If that puts it that way. But also, to answer that question, take it a step further, a 2025 quarterback right now is not as bad as we think it is, because truly, if the targets at the moment in time out there on the list were Deuce Knight from I'm trying to think in my mind where he was from. It's slipping me. I can see his face. Okay, he's a Notre Dame commit.
Right.
I think of him in anyway. KJ Lacey's on that list. I think he's
from Georgia,
That's right, Carrollton, Georgia. That's correct. KJ Lacey's on the list. That's Sarah Land.
Yep.
Both of those guys.
Texas commit.
Texas commit, which a lot of we shifted. Both of them were on our radar, and we were hot and heavy after them, and then we just all of a sudden tried to push all the chips in on Juju. And you almost kind of feel like, for everybody, to understand this process, you almost kind of feel like you're doing some damage control now, because if a girl was trying to go out with this one guy, but then she couldn't get the guy she wanted, now she fell back to Andy and Jim. Yeah.
Okay.
She fell back to Andy.
Lucedale, Mississippi, apparently, was from Deuce Knight.
Oh, I got you.
That's what I'm assuming that's what it is.
So this girl falls back to me and you as choices. Well, our feelings going to be a little hurt because why didn't you pick me to start with, kind of thing.
Right.
So that's what they're having to work through right now in this recruiting, is get some of these kids to go, hey, we weren't trying to push you to the back burner. This is what we were doing. And rightfully so. Wouldn't you, if you were one of these kids, go, hey, you've been courting somebody else?
Well, all right. First of all, it's a big deal that if there's no quarterbacks there, it's a very big deal. Now, this is the problem that you run into. I mean, this is recruiting. Okay, you have a guy out there that's rated in the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the country, and he's showing. He's got you on the list. There's definitely some interaction between both of them. There's some flirting going on, and you put all your chips in on that guy,
right?
And you don't land him,
right?
Now, I mean, if you don't go all in, you probably got no chance of landing him.
Correct.
So what do you do?
Right.
I like the fact that we're going for bust here, but like you said, if you do that, there's some other guys out there that perhaps a KJ Lacey,
right,
that is kind of the same kind of quarterback. I mean, they pretty much look and play like each other.
Right.
A 4-star guy that's, not as highly touted. Who wants to be a backup plan?
Right.
Now, I mean, but that you got to put your kind of ego aside a little bit. Texas has got, of course, they got Manning as a backup to Ewers. They got, I want to say they signed another 4 or 5-star quarterback just a couple of weeks ago. So, if KJ Lacey doesn't end up at Auburn, I'm not sure he'll end up at Texas.
Right.
But if he does show up Saturday, I think that's a big deal. I think it's a good sign, obviously, for Auburn. So, now you mentioned that Deuce Nye.
Right.
That's a guy that has not been talked about quite a bit, but.
And see, both of them, as we sit here today, talk about them, are developmental quarterbacks. They're not fixing to come in here and day one start. Deuce didn't start, if I understood it right, didn't start playing quarterback till last year. He's that kind of an athlete. They're really kind of teaching him the game as he goes, but he's a phenomenal athlete. Yeah. KJ is the same thing, but he's undersized in his deal. He's 160-something, 170-pound guy, and he's basically, and I think I brought up to you before the show started, quarterback from Alabama, Bryce Young. He's basically a Bryce Young clone that you're going to have to put some weight on him and develop him a little bit in the program anyway. So I personally just don't think it's as big a deal because there's not a quarterback sitting there for the weekend that everybody's seen so far. But we're in a world of NIL that there's, like you talked about, if another team, a Texas, has got 3 quarterbacks sitting over there in the waiting, Georgia's got all these quarterbacks waiting, just like what happened to Georgia this year. Their 5-star quarterback went to Kentucky. We could very well, just as soon as the spring's over with, happens. But here's the thing in this recruiting deal. I feel like on Big Cat weekends, you're planting seeds, okay? You're trying to get this kid to see your program and this kid and this kid. Well, what if the Lacey shows up or the Deuce Knight shows up and they're not just ready to commit just yet, like pull the trigger, but they were there?
Yeah.
I think winning takes care of that. If we see an 8-9-win season, if I'm KJ Lacey, why? I got the same opportunity right here in my state to go jump onto their program. I'm just not worried about a 25 quarterback just yet. If we got on down in there to November, that might be a problem. But I think you're going to see some people, once the winning starts, you're going to see some people commit and come on board.
Yeah, the only problem with that, you better win.
That's right. Well, that's what Napier's finding out.
Yeah.
He had all these big recruiting classes when he started at Florida, and then when he didn't win last year, his class just fell apart, went everywhere. Yeah. Auburn got a bunch of them.
Hey, if I'll say this, if no 2025 quarterback shows up for Big Cat weekend, Hank Brown better be as good as he showed in that bowl game.
Right.
And Walker White better be really, really good. Because you got those 2 guys.
Right.
And, it's always about the next guy. But those 2 guys, Hank Brown showed that, he looked brilliant in a very little small sample size. Walker White was all the rage last year. Maybe he's going to be the next transcendent quarterback at Auburn. I don't know.
Well, and that's what you recruit them for. You stack them up over there and have 4 or 5 in the room, and you find out who the guy is.
Let them compete.
Let them compete.
Yeah.
Iron sharpen iron.
All right, what do you think? 256-234-6221. More to come right after these messages.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin, comfort for life.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters. Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dayville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Jim here with you. Only about 30 more minutes left in today's show. I always like to remind you about Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. They got 2 locations, one in Montgomery, one on East Glen in Auburn. Tremendous food. Whatever you like, you can go there and eat at the restaurants. You can pick it up to go. They'll cook it for you, or you can cook it yourself. We have sampled the food. It is outstanding. Great service, great people there. Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. They got daily specials. Go and check them out on their website, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. Okay, Jim, let's do this MVPs, and we'll get back to some of these questions, some comments rolling through. All right, we gave some nominees for MVP on the offensive side. What about the defensive side? Who are your 5 nominees for MVP this upcoming year?
Gosh, that's tough. I mean, I like a lot of the defensive line, the newer ones we got in, but I'm going to probably say Falk, defensive line.
Okay.
I'm going to go Asante at the linebacker.
Yep.
I'm going to give you Kayan Lee, cornerback. And probably Kite, too. I like him a lot. He's got his stuff together. And then probably, I don't know, it's going to be a surprise, Amaris Williams.
Definitely could. Those young guys are going to have to play. We'll see how much they end up playing. I think Eugene Asante, clearly, leading this team in tackles last year. I expect him to have that kind of year. Let's just hope and pray he stays healthy.
That's right.
Because he is he's a juggernaut right there in the middle and running side to side, and he's a tackling machine. So I think Austin Keys could have he could have a really good year too, but I like that tandem. But Asante's kind of the headliner. I think Jalen McLeod, like the guy that you brought him up a couple of days ago. If he was not healthy to begin the year last year, and I think ended up leading Auburn in sacks, or at least was tied for the lead. If he's healthy for 12 games, maybe. And the defensive line is a little bit – you add in some of these guys like Rakes and Bleedy and all these guys, it takes some of that pressure off of him. If he ends up leading Auburn in sacks and, approaches double digits maybe in sacks, I definitely think he could be a MVP candidate for sure.
And, always in the past when Auburn has gone, and when I say gone and won 9, 10, 11 ball games, you've always had that one that stood out on the defensive line.
Yeah.
There was somebody that dominated the offensive front of the other team. Do we have that in that list? That's
a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did. Jaron Thompson, a lot of talk about him, the transfer from Texas at safety, about how big of a leader he is in that room. Kieran Crawford, transfer from Arkansas State. There again on the other side of that edge. If you've got to worry about Jalen McLeod and he's having a fantastic year, perhaps Crawford sneaks in there and has a great year himself. So, if you're going to pick one of these guys, I don't know, for a young guy, I might say Joe Phillips. I think he's kind of an underrated.
I like it.
Maybe under the radar. Not a lot expected him because of his youth. But I will say Malik Blockton had a lot of praise heaped on him as a young guy. So he's a dark horse, certainly. But hopefully he has a good year too. All right, some of these questions and comments. Malcolm Simmons, how do we see him being used as a freshman and in his career at Auburn? What do you think? How will they use Malcolm this year?
Well, obviously
from Alexander City, where we are right now.
Correct. Obviously, you're looking at a track star, so everybody knows he can run. He's jumped. He's the state champion in the high jump. So you got an opportunity if somebody like that can do some very big damage on 50-50 balls if he can jump that high.
Yeah.
Is there an opportunity, or is there enough people already in front of him that he's really going to have to work to get on that too deep of the receiver? Maybe this year you see him in the special team side of it because he was dynamic, and I've watched him myself on TV, and a lot of our guys on the show have watched him in person, returning kickoffs last year and just running through people like they were standing still. And if he could somehow, I think you had even brought it up earlier in the show, if he could somehow get on the field as a punt returner or kick returner and break one, that may be his permanent job.
Yeah, true. And if something happens to Oscar Chapman, he could punt.
All right, no doubt he kick and punt.
He's a very, very good punter. So I know that's an odd to say about one of your starting or backup receivers.
And to answer the rest of the question, it says, what do you see in the future of him? The future now, he's going to be one of your premier receivers. I mean, he's got all the touches for that.
That slot position is probably him to a T. I think he could really develop into a dynamic player there at that position. So I would watch out for that. But I'm with you. I think special teams in year one is his best opportunity.
Right.
We were talking about only having 3 running backs in Jarquez Hunter, Alston, and Cobb. I don't really like putting any of those back there returning kickoffs. So that's an opportunity, I would say, in my opinion, to put Malcolm back there. Now, I mean, some people are a little weary of putting freshmen back there, but
right.
I remember Trey Mason being back there as a freshman.
That's correct.
And I think he broke one for 100 yards one time and was really good. And so I would like to see there. John says, why the secrecy in recruiting with the way they bounce around? Why does it matter?
Well, you know, John, one of the things is momentum in this recruiting. These kids are influenced every day by social media. They want to see what the happening thing is, what the winning team, all that is. For whatever reason, Andy and I have talked about it as well, for whatever reason, Hughes staff loves to build momentum. So they've had some recruits that should have already committed by now that are gonna commit over the weekend or maybe even the day or two after, and they wanna, like Andy talked about earlier in the show, you get this group of kids together, you get them all jacked up, and then they're playing and they're going on scavenger hunts, they're going to Hugh Freeze's place, swimming in the pool and jumping off. Well, Perry Thompson did a backflip off the diving board last year because he flipped from Alabama to Auburn. That's what they want. They want to get that excitement going. There's kids that's already going to commit. They just want to get them all in one group, and they don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet.
We'll see what happens on Saturday, but I would expect to see, several commitments for Auburn. Otherwise, it's really not that successful a weekend for Auburn if they don't come away with at least, a handful of commits. We'll see. All right, we got to take another break. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
The only thing real in this video is the new Mr. Beast box at Zaxby's. This restaurant, it's a green screen. The ground I'm walking on, it's a treadmill. Me? I'm not Mr. Beast.
I'm Chandler. Go get the new Mr. Beast box at Zaxby's. It has Feastables.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
The only thing real in this video is the new Mr. Beast box at Zaxby's. This restaurant, it's a green screen. The ground I'm walking on, it's a treadmill. Me? I'm not Mr. Beast.
I'm Chandler. Go get the new Mr. Beast box at Zaxby's. It has Feastables.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Daytonville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
Andy and Jim here with you. Only a couple more segments left in today's show. 256-234-6221 is our number here. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. Obviously, Big Cat Weekend this weekend. This is kind of the big deal for Auburn, obviously, each and every year. It's always at the end of July here, although, as we talked about earlier, that won't be the case next year. They'll still hold Big Cat Weekend, but it'll be at a different time because July and August pretty much are going to be dead periods. I'm sure every college football coach is like, oh, thank the Lord.
Well,
we can have 2 months where we don't have to do all this.
They had, and I forget what they even call it now. It used to be the Big Ten. I know they got more teams than that now. But
I'd still call it the Big Ten.
They were interviewing Ryan Day about that very subject yesterday, and they said how you're going to be thankful to have that dead period, or is it really a dead period? And he said, guys, I'm going to be honest. He said, I can be sitting on the beach with my family and still think about 3rd and 3. He's like, there's not a dead period.
Well,
for recruiting, yes, but as far as the game,
still that doesn't mean you can't have any kind of contact.
Right.
I mean, you can still text them, and I'm sure they're texting them every day. But there's one thing about, having to be in Auburn and having to show some kid around and texting some kid while you lay it on the beach.
Yeah,
that's a different deal.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
So, yeah. It's still on your mind, but I'm sure they'll enjoy that dead period for sure. All right, then again, it's a fluid situation. These are just some of the guys, like just for instance, yesterday, Caleb Cunningham was scheduled to be at Big Cat. Today, not so much.
Yep.
Not scheduled to be at Big Cat Weekend. So we mentioned Jared Smith from Thompson, 5-star edge. Auburn seems to have been kind of maybe had all the momentum with him. Now there's some chatter that he may not be at Big Cat Weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Ole Miss has came in on the show lately. There's 4 teams on his list now, and he's claiming, and I forgot the date, I can't think of the top of my head, early August, that he had set he was going to make his
I think it was August 3rd.
3rd, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it's August 3rd, he set his date then that he's going to make his decision, and he's being pulled right now in 2 directions from the Ole Miss and from Auburn, and a couple of other people are in on the hunt.
I think South Carolina was big on him at one point.
I think they're in the hunt.
Seemed like that was odd, but we'll see. I mean, if he shows up Saturday, obviously I think that would be a good sign.
From what we understand so far following recruiting, the Fagans kid that's from Thompson as well, both of them, Fagan seems to be on the boat already that he hadn't committed, but he's another one of those that he's holding his commit to a certain date, and then he's going to let it out. My question to you is, we've never really had a Thompson pipeline, thanks to Harsin and some other ones. If you land a Fagans and he commits, does Jared Smith follow that?
I think it can't hurt.
Right.
Anquan Fagans, I believe his older brother, just signed with Auburn as a walk-on, I believe. So that certainly bodes well for that situation. But, again, if you're going to have a pipeline, Thompson, Central Phoenix City, Hoover, Saraland, these are the places you want to start tapping
And that
pipe there.
and that being said, this weekend's also not only big for 25, but it's big for 26. From what I'm being told, there's 9 out of the top 10 in the state of Alabama will be there this weekend for the 2026 class.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Yes, you start building momentum like that, like we're talking about. You getting 5 stars in a room together and getting them having fun and playing, and they get to be buddies. I mean, the ball can roll in big time.
No doubt whatsoever. Okay, so you miss out on Caleb Cunningham. Derek Smith from Southside Selma is a 4-star guy. He's considered a quote-unquote athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama is recruiting him as a defensive back, I believe. Auburn is recruiting him as a wide receiver. So there is some chatter that he will be at Big Cat on Saturday, and he's a threat to flip to Auburn. We'll see what happens with that. Auburn got a big flip last year with Perry Thompson. You remember you mentioned that from Alabama last year. We'll see if Auburn can do that again this year. That certainly would be good. Usamani Kromah, a big bruising tailback from Lee County, Georgia, 4-star guy. Auburn wants to add another running back to this class. Obviously, they have Alvin Henderson.
They say the fight right now is between us and FSU.
Yep.
Both teams are really highly wanting him, and they are trying to push him this weekend to not come here and go to Florida State because Florida State's doing the same thing.
We'll see. And there again, that's if nothing else, you watch and see who shows up.
Right.
And you get a better idea of, okay, well, we could probably say goodbye to that guy.
Right. Well,
now that's not hard. I mean, that's not 100%, but it's a pretty strong indicator. You mentioned some of the guys in 2026. 5-star safety Zealous Hicks, 5-star edge Anthony Tank Jones from St. Paul's. Hicks is from Carrollton, Georgia. 5-star linebacker Tyler Atkinson from Grayson, Georgia. 5-star edge Jordan Carter from Douglas County, Georgia. So that's just, I mean, you got a 5-star tight end Brock Harris from Pine View, Utah, of all places. So that, I mean, and the list of 4-star guys is too long to even go into. But there's a lot of talk about some of the guys on that list. Shadarius Tootle from Cottage Hill Christian Academy in Alabama, that he is a possibility to go ahead and commit to Auburn this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That you want to go ahead and start building this class now and get the foundation laid. And if you could get some of these big time guys as a part of that class, that would be certainly that would be a big step going forward. And then you even got a 2027 guy in Barack Willis, another edge rusher from Moody, Alabama. So going to be a ton of guys in there. Going to be a ton of talent in Auburn this weekend. It bears watching to see what happens.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's definitely going to be a momentum swing in the right direction, I believe. I think we're sitting 13, 14 in the nation right now in recruiting. I think after the weekend you're in the top 10. And then maybe by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week to get a few more of those that they're saying there's got set dates, you may see Auburn go as high as 7 or 8.
Yeah. Euphrates said he wanted a top 5 class. You're going to have to prove it on the field before you get in there.
Win some ball games.
Win a lot of ball games.
Winning fixes everything.
Yeah, it does. And it attracts big-time talent for sure. All right, we got to take one final break. We'll be back with the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Thursday, right after this.
When drinking, take a sober ride home, not someone's life. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
At Majestic Caverns, we believe in the power of unforgettable experiences. At a cool 60 degrees year-round, America's most historic caverns guarantees an enjoyable escape. But it doesn't stop there. With over 20 above-ground attractions, including 5 new ones this year, and our Cave Cafe, which offers delicious drinks and plenty of food options. And don't miss our exciting event, Libertas. On June 29th, July 6th, and July 13th, enjoy live entertainment and much more. At Majestic Caverns, your unforgettable adventure awaits.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Announcing Camping World's Inflation Buster camping program. You can now get into a new RV starting at just $98 a month. We won't let the economy steal your camping season. Take advantage of this very limited time offer and lock in your low monthly payment today.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success.
Catch a ride, not a buzz.
Hey, can you come get me?
Being buzzed still counts. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Thursday afternoon. The sun was actually shining when I came into the studio the other day. It's an odd look.
I'm surprised. I mean, every day we've got so much rain. I've started to get my boat out and go out the driveway instead of the truck.
You probably need to, for
it
sure.
It is something else.
The Olympics actually begin tomorrow. Yep. You like the Olympics?
There's some of it. There's some of it. Not all.
I kind of enjoy the Summer Olympics better than I do the winter.
Right.
Although I do love curling. I do actually watch that from time. It's like shuffleboard, but with a big rock.
Is that like watching paint dry, or what is
that? Yeah. To each his own, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Auburn got some people in the Olympics that were either former athletes or actually current athletes. So one of them, of course, Suni Lee.
Yes.
Gymnast,
superstar.
Superstar. Won all-around gold 4 years ago, going to try to duplicate that again this go-around. So wish her the best of luck. But we'll talk about that tomorrow a little bit. Some more of those Auburn athletes competing in the Olympics. All right, it is July the 25th. July the 25th, on this day, Jim, 1940. An American by the name of John Sigmund began swimming for 89 hours and 46 minutes. Now, I'm going to say that again. He began a swim that lasted for 89 hours and 46 minutes. Starting from St. Louis, he swam all the way to Caruthersville, Missouri, in the Mississippi River. A 292-mile journey, the longest solo swim in recorded history.
I'm going to pose this question to you. Is there anything in your mind right now that you could do for 89 hours straight?
No.
Exactly.
I couldn't even stay awake for 89 hours
Correct.
straight. I mean,
that's what I don't get. That is that even humanly possible?
Swimming for 292 miles. Talk about shrinkage.
Well, yeah.
I have no words.
Right.
If
that is all true, and he did that consecutively for those 89 hours, he's the greatest athlete on the planet.
You talk about endurance. I mean,
Yes.
he's got some endurance for sure. All right, 1956, Roberto Clemente hits Major League Baseball's first and only walk-off inside the park grand slam home run. The first and only walk-off inside the park grand slam home run.
Now I see
they win 9-8 over the Cubs.
Now that was what I was about to bring up. If it's at the Cubs, is it Wrigley Field? Did it get caught in the ivy? And
Actually, this was in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
It was in Pittsburgh.
I was wondering if the ball was hiding out there somewhere.
That rare that you would see. It's rare that you see a grand slam.
Oh yeah.
Not too rare, but it's rare.
Right.
It's very rare that you see an inside the park home run.
Wow.
It's incredible. Obviously, it's happened one time in the history of baseball that a walk-off inside the park grand slam. And Roberto Clemente, Hall of Famer, is the one that did it. All right, happy birthday today, Walter Brennan. If you're a Rio Bravo fan, no, John Wayne.
No, I do. No, John Wayne, I loved John Wayne.
Stumpy from Rio Bravo.
Okay, yeah.
He did some singing. Old Rivers and me. He's a good actor. Estelle Getty from the Golden Girls.
Oh yeah.
Sophia.
Like the gold. Oh, Sophia was.
She
a
was
mess.
She was the old one, but the youngest one of the really. I think she was actually the youngest cast member, but played the oldest one on the show. So, and did a good job.
She was funny.
Born on this day, 1923. Nate Thurmond, Hall of Fame center with the Warriors. Born on this day, 1941. Died in 2016. Tom Dawes, born on this day, 1944. Died in 2007. Not many people know who Tom Dawes is, but I bet you've heard his commercial jingle. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Alka-Seltzer. He came up with that jingle, Tom Dawes. Steve Goodman, 1948 to 1984, wrote the song City of New Orleans. Great song. Willie Nelson, many others have done that one. Also credited with writing the song You Never Call Me By My Name. David Allan Coe.
Okay.
He and John Prine wrote that song as a joke. You never call me darling. I went to pick her, my grandma, or my mother got out of prison, I went to pick her up in the rain.
That's right.
That's him. All right, Verdine White, 1951, singer for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Walter Payton, born on this day, 1954, tragically died in 1999. Sweetness.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago Bears, not many better.
The teams he played on, I used to love the old refrigerator Perry.
Oh, yeah. Iman, married to David Bowie. Born on this day, model, 1955. Roger Clinton, the half-brother of Bill Clinton. Doug Draback, 1990 Cy Young winner. Ed Sprague, Matt LeBlanc, Joey from Friends. Billy Wagner, and Bryce Young.
To all you Bammers out there.
That's going to wrap it up for the show today. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. He's Jim. I'm Andy. Be sure to join us tomorrow. Same time, same channel. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.